Hi, beautiful. Hi. You are growing up. She is so beautiful. That makes no sense, man. Golly.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Listen, so uh it's what like I was saying, we're in a dire situation. Uh the only thing that's going to change black people's situation is black people's perception of self. As long as black people are in the mindset of the enemy and can look and judge themselves as the enemy judges them, they're never going to be able to get out of the spell to see themselves for who they really are. And as long as black people are spellbound by white people, you know that white people are prejudiced no matter how nice they are, but you still want to defend them. You're going to have to look deep inside of why. Why does it matter to you no matter who the white person is? Why does it matter to you if they're the good one or not? Why isn't it not more important that you're good to your own?
Well, because one, most of us work for the white person. I mean, most of us. I mean, come on. Most of the things that we purchase and buy and love, like Gucci, Poochie, and Poochie, are
So
from are from different races.
So can I ask you a
I mean,
question?
you're asking a lot to give up for people who don't know any difference.
So can I ask you a
First
question?
and foremost, embedded. You're talking about something embedded in our DNA. I'm not gonna see a change in my lifetime. Of course, I've learned to humble myself over the last 20 years of materialistic things. I have done a wonderful job of that. Which I didn't think I could do it, but I absolutely did it. I did it. I can now feel good without having on $5,000 worth of clothes.
So can I ask you a question?
Amazing.
So can I ask you a question? You see how I'm talking about black people as a whole coming from under a spell, right?
Right.
And this is why I love you, because you always make my points and help me get to where I'm trying to go.
Absolutely.
When you say all of the things that we're locked into based on our perception, right?
Which is what you said, perception.
Do you see how we further and spellbind ourselves by believing that the only way that we can be happy is by dealing with our enemies and buying our enemies things? By if you got this brand of our enemy stuff, you're a little better than this brand. Black people are gonna have to learn that we are the brand. We make Gucci hot. We make that shit hot. And if we don't wear Gucci, whatever we got on is hot. FUBU is hot. No matter what we put on, our swag is hot. We are hot. We are the thing. The music company, the music business, the black side of music, we do our own music. There's no labels creating the music for us. We are the enterprise. We're just not the enterprise.
Well,
we like to oil the machine. We don't like to be the machine.
Well, I agree with that, and I can say that because the car I chose to buy. I'm often questioned as to why, and more than I think I should be asked. Like, why don't you drive a Mercedes? Why don't you drive a?
Right.
I mean, it's almost like is it something that you okay? Does that go? Is that what a president?
It goes with it, yes, exactly. And this is a part of the spellbinding. Michel'le with all these hits, married to millionaires and billionaires and shit. Ain't no way she's supposed to be in a nice ass little comfortable car that suits her. She's supposed to be in something that represents what we see. See, all of those things, black people, we don't have the luxury of tripping with that type of shit no more. We have to somehow figure out how to communize our money. I might have just made up a word, but we have to figure out how to create a community with our dollar. That's the only way that the people we're gonna gain any kind of respect, even though, trust me, the enemy that we have here physically is just like that enemy built into our skin, the ego. At every turn, black people are going to have a problem when they run into that white devil. They're going to have a problem, and I'm not calling all white people devil. I'm only talking about the devils. You understand? I want to make that clear. I'm only speaking of the devils. Thank you. When the black man starts to wake up and arise out of the spell bindness of the white man's religion and the white man's belief, and stop looking at the white man as the image that was given in slavery, but as the white man really is. Once we know who he is, once we know his traits, once we know his behind closed doors behaviors, once we know the things that they deal with to be white, maybe once we know and educate ourselves about the enemy, we will not worship them the same. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's not, and it's not to degrade them, but if you ain't shit, I don't want to have you on a if you're just okay, if you're just okay and you're just another thing, cool. I want you on that pedestal. I do not want you on no godly, kingly pedestal when you're a dog.
And I agree. I am Kay Wilkins. She said, "Be who you are." So I'm trying to do that. I think a lot of us are really trying to do that.
We have to figure it out.
But then we have peer pressure to be in a group. How about that? How about people who are being peer pressured to be in cartel?
To be in what kind of group you mean?
To be with the Joneses. We gotta keep up. We don't want to be like, come on.
Then you're caught in a particular in the game. When you're moving your piece around the monopoly board, that comes with a bunch of particulars. You can go to jail. You can land on somebody's property. You can buy some property. There's particulars in the game. But the concept is to own as much shit as you can and monopolize the situation the best you can. And that's what we have to realize is being done to us. They've monopolized us from music to our creativity. I don't care if we do cartoons. We want to go and sign with the biggest white cartoon company. If I got a new rapper, I want to take him to Atlantic Records. You know what I'm saying? We always want to take it to them and give it to them. And then we're surprised when we see Master P's and the baby them, you know, not the baby, but Birdman them. We're shocked because somebody said, no, I'm going to sell my own records. Like Hammer, I'm going to sell my own records out of the trunk. I'm going to make all my own money. I don't care about being on the radio. We're shocked by NWA, Eazy-E's, and Dre's and them that decide, fuck the system, fuck radio, and fuck the police. How about that? And still sell 2 million records. That's what all of us is supposed to be on, because then we create our own industry.
I mean, not for nothing, but I think we were on our way and then they signed up. So what are you talking about? We were on our way and then they went corporate. So I mean, we were on, look, just like Black Wall Street. I mean, they tore it down as well, but we were on our way. So listen, every time we're on our way.
And what happened?
And they come and they say, hey,
who is they? Who is they?
We were on our way. Us, black folks.
The impossible people.
Many times.
The impossible people are going to come and say, Michel'le, we love your TV show. You got wonderful ratings. We want to give you, what are you getting paid? You're getting 20 million an episode. We're going to give you 40 million an episode to come with us.
Absolutely.
And they're going to shut your shit down. Because money means nothing to them. They make the money. Do you understand? We don't know how to say no. My guy, Bob Johnson, he went for that money, but there's no more BET the way we need it. It doesn't represent us the way we need it to represent us. I love what Tyler Perry's doing. I think that's great.
Oh, I did.
We need what Tyler Perry is on. We all need to be aimed in the same exact direction when it comes to applying it to our people. And he employs all races, just like all of us will. Black people are loving people. We're not going to be racist to no white person that comes. Matter of fact, because we come from slaves and white people bred with us in our DNA, we're probably going to be more kind to the white person than we're going to be to our own, because that's in our nature. You understand? We have all the means to be universally sound, except for love and knowledge of self. The fact that black people don't know thyself, there's no God that's going to respect them enough to step in to help out. We don't know ourselves. We're supposed to be in his image. We're in the image of an enemy. He said there will be no gods before me. We are in the image of the white man. We think like the white man. We act like the white man. We are black Europeans. Do you understand? We're not in the image of our God. We are a lost people. This is why Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, Yeshua the messenger, remember, he wasn't the Christ. He was the messenger, the one who came only to the lost house of Israel. Israel had 12 sons. They all had tribes. He had 12 tribes. Judah was lost. Judah's tribe was lost. Yeshua HaMashiach came to remind these people that they are God and the sons and daughters of the Most High. He said that the kingdom of heaven is within you, period. You get what I'm trying to say? He made it clear to these lost people. But what did the impossible people do? They turned him into God. They turned him into God. Now he's died on the third day and rose. Now you got to believe that he rose again, even though you wasn't there. You got to believe that he got up and came up. You got to believe all these. But this is with this guy, Jesus Christ now. Remember, Yeshua HaMashiach only came for certain people. Now you got Jesus on Calvary dying. You got to believe in this in order to be saved. Now, because he said him and his Father are one, I can show you two of my sons that meant that we're one. I can put little Steve on this phone and me and him are one, period. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
They changed, the impossible people changed what he said around because they wanted to change who he came for. Remember, you hear all these pastors talking about Paul said, Paul said, Paul said. They don't even know who Paul is. Paul is the Messiah to the people Jesus said go not to. Jesus said go not unto the Gentile with this. I only came to the lost house of Israel, the lost tribe of Judah. Go not unto the Gentile. What did Paul do? Being a mulatto black Roman male, he came and took his scripture right to his people. Now he's the Jesus of Christianity. They even changed his name from Yeshua HaMashiach to Jesus the Christ and said that all of the power is in that name. Get it?
Yeah.
Black people are disconnected from the source of spiritual self, and that's our demise. We have to take the white man and his things out of our worship system. We got to stop desiring the things of our enemy, from our hair to everything else, the way we look, everything. We got to get our minds back to being happy with what we are, with the melanin in our skin. We don't realize that melanin is gold.
Oh, I do.
You know, most people don't realize that, but it really is. And we got to.
I really do. I listen, I totally love my skin color. I love the melanin.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Even though my skin tone, we are prone for raccoon eyes. Yeah, we get some black shades under here.
No, you look great.
But I mean, really, because I know what comes with this tone of skin. It's melanin, I get it. And yes, and believe it or not, it does require sunscreen. Black people, I'm sorry. We do need, I know we've been saying that for years, but I did a test. I did sunscreen on this arm for 2 months and no sunscreen on this arm for 2 months. And I tell you, and we peel and everything when we do not protect the skin. It really is true, and I don't know why, but we can absolutely, the sun does love our race though.
Listen, we're the people of the sun. Hair grows towards the sun. You can't get more godly than that. You can't get, and we have to. And I'm not talking about people not being and having the liberty to look and be the way they look. The whole point is the knowledge and understanding of it. You want to have the right. The Bible says that the truth shall make you free. If you're not living in any truth, only perception, that's why we're missing the boat. That's why he's able to turn his face against us and let the enemy rule over us, because we missed the mark. Somewhere we missed the connection with God somewhere. That's what we need to fix. He's turned his face and allowed our enemies to rule over us. We got to catch up. We got to figure out what it is that we can do to get back on board with this God, or start doing some research and find out who our ancient tribes were worshiping. We got to do something. And I say start with our ancestors. I know my mother loves me, so it would be great for me to pray to that entity. I would probably get more response from praying to my transitioned mother than any unseen God that is supposed to be here to help everybody on the planet. You know what I mean? Because everybody on the planet ain't helped by no God.
Okay, so in you saying that, the energy that I'm feeling in the universe right now by all of the people congregating at these protests is you can feel the energy.
Yeah.
So what do you think
that's good.
That's a good collective energy to?
Yeah, but it's only so good because you got an enemy that's out there countering that energy. You got to remember, this same impossible people that started this, the reason that we're even protesting, they have people on the other sides of the lines acting like they're protesting too, making the energy unbalanced. You get what I'm saying? Black people got to really go within because our enemy is on all sides. Black people we love these people so much. We're gonna, like you said, I gotta let go of all my white friends. So we're gonna be infiltrated. They're gonna be on the inside. We're gonna always have the possibility of being infiltrated because black people are not solid enough to trust self to get things done without outside influence. And now is not the time for outside influence, man. There's too many quiet white people. It's too many nice compliant white people, and we just need to see that for what it is. And much prop to all the white people who are sincere, all the white people who are considerate and see that there's some bullshit, that the people that they come from are an embarrassment. That's wonderful that they're finally at the point where they can speak about it loudly and say, okay, enough is enough, because they're going to be the ones that have to change. Your abusive husband is going to have to get to a point to where he's tired of being that way. You're not going to change your abusive husband. I don't care how sweet and nice you are. He's going to have to get to the point to where he says, you know what? I don't want to see her hurt like that. I'm not doing that no more. Well, that's when change comes.
I don't know where I would change to. I think change would have to come from somewhere else because we still wouldn't know what is different. So it can't be me that change. It have to be them. King Ram, I'm not sure if you can come back, and then he keeps saying that not true, the dead can't hear us. I don't know if he's talking about you, but your ancestor.
Well, when he says dead, you got to remember, when he's speaking on the dead, he's speaking of that flesh that's in the ground. See, I'm past that. I'm talking about this, that warm breath on the back of your hand that you can't see, that fire that's lit right now while this flesh is alive. There's a spirit in there that's existing, that's alive, that never dies. The only thing that dies is the house that you're housing it in to get this job done while you're here this time. You exchange bodies over and over through the course of your life experience. Of course, a dead flesh, a piece of dead meat can't hear. That's why I said pray to the ancestor, because the ancestor is there. Why do you think the enemy got pyramids all on the top of their buildings in every city if there's a such thing as death? If there's no ancestors looking and paying homage, why are there pyramids all over the place showing these great these great people of old that we acknowledge you? Why are they doing that? Why are there so many pyramids if there are no ancestors?
Come on, King Ram, you gotta back me up. I just asked the question. Where are you at?
Yeah, right.
Somebody said right. Somebody said facts. Her glow life said right. No, I mean it. Somebody said teach them. Roxy Stack a Grip. I hope I said that right. You guys don't wear glasses, so when you guys see me squint, and there'll be bifocals when I turn about another good 5 years. I'm going to keep glasses because I'm scared of contacts. I'm scared to put something in my eye.
You remember these?
Yes, you need those. Absolutely. So see, you guys, I totally wear glasses. I do, I know. Right?
Oh, those are nice.
I wear glasses. So, now you guys are laughing. Oh, there it is, Roxy Stack Grip. It just sounds funny when I say it. I said it right. Roxy Stack Grip. Oh, okay, that means Stack Grip. Stack. Well,
how do you think? How important do you think these
Dr. Harmony's World. Thank you. You know what? It's I think, you know what, we've been saying this a lot on the show. We started saying this in the Heart of RNB when we was in the basement, that this conversation needed to be had. And it's really sad that we had to have someone die in real time for us to even have this conversation.
Because we've been dying a long time. There's a guy, Aubrey just got shot a couple weeks before this. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, these two men grabbed their guns and decided to go hunt this black guy down. Like, the white people believe that they are the law, whether they're policemen or not. And that's what black people got to realize. The law is not on our side. And now they're getting ready to send in the National Guard. If you don't understand the rules of engagement or the rules that go along with these people, you're going to be talking shit to them like they're police. And these people don't even have the same contract or responsibility as police. These people can kill you.
Right.
You know, so.
And is that why the president's urgency to get them here?
The president wants to dominate the streets. He's like a dictator. He don't want the people to feel like they have any power to do anything. So we gotta get with all those people, black, white, brown, whoever's on board and who's ever trustworthy enough. We got to get on board to change for ourselves. Black people got to stop looking for the enemy to change. You got to stop looking to change the devil. The devil is not going to change. We have to change ourselves. Black people have to change the way we look at ourselves.
Well, I think what I'm trying to understand what the Christian Pearson 343 said, these conversations have been going on for years.
Yes.
Senator TV is a great access for the black movement. Senator TV has been going on. It's a great access for the black movement. Do you agree with that?
Well, I don't know about that. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that channel. I don't know about that. So that's my first. I have to check it out to see. But we have to start getting coalitions. We got to start getting and having gathering places as black people where we can get together and powwow about ideas about our own community. This is why social distancing is such crap, because without us being able to get together and put our minds together, we won't come up with anything to fight against the devil.
Okay, well, wait, because here we are. Now, Notorious Trina 20 says, and I hear this a lot, especially from our people. She said, I'm just over it and tired of hearing about this shit. At this point, nothing is going to change. It's just a waste of time. So how about you? There's so many of us that feel that way. So, so collectively, what do you do when...
It's tough to give hope to people who've seen a hopeless life their whole existence. It's like you keep teasing a dog with a bone and never give him the bone. Pretty soon he's not even going to get up to act like he wants the bone. You get what I mean? So black, a lot of us are tired of, listen, it's draining to have to explain to another human that's supposed to be more intelligent than anybody else on the planet that this is wrong or that this is a human. It's like a Jedi mind trick. This person claims to be the smartest person on the planet, takes credit for building pyramids and all kind of shit, but you don't know that this is a human being right here.
Well, listen, Notorious Trina's back. Notorious Trina 20 says that they agree with Trump about them all. They agree with Trump about them all. So
about who?
I'm kind of confused on who them all are. Because,
Notorious Trina says, I agree with Trump about them all.
Yeah, well, I don't really know about them all.
I don't know.
About agreeing with Trump. I mean, first of all, agreeing
about
with
the deep
Trump.
state, about Trump. I mean, hey, Trump is not a part of the big boys club. He didn't make it in. You get what I'm saying? That's why he's against so many other elitists, because he didn't make it into the boys club no matter how much money he got. That's why he's holding Bibles up and shit and taking advantage of his photo ops to act like he's the new shit. He was the guy in class nobody fucked with. He was lucky that he had a dad with money. You get what I'm trying to say? He didn't come out the womb just a hot person and just hot in persona and personality. It took his money for him to get pussy. He couldn't get laid without money. You get what I'm trying to say? He's got to have something to offer so that a woman will look and desire him. And that's a tough life to live. Black men got it bad because it's a black nigga on the streets right now that can get a woman. You get what I'm trying to say?
I totally hear you now.
Without a car or anything.
I'm in agreement, not to cut you off, but Notorious 20 is back. Here's their point. This has been going on way before we've been born. So what's new? Nothing at all. And they actually don't care about George Floyd. They are using the man's death for their own personal gain to steal.
No question. No question. No question. And she's talking about the people who are out there, these impossible people who are on the other side doing the bullshit. I hope she's not making what is it called? A statement that covers everybody, because there are people who are tired of their sons getting slain by these crooked ass devil police. There are people out there crying because they don't know nothing else to do. They don't want to get a gun and kill the way the devil kills, the way the enemy kills. So all that they know to do is get out there and plead for it. That's all we can do. That's all it feels like you can do. But then when the enemy sends his other team over there to break windows and rob banks and shit so that they can come and do more damage to the people who are crying out, it's like, who are we crying out to? Maybe we shouldn't cry out to the government. Maybe we should figure something out. You know?
No, I agree here. And then we have, I guess this is Dr. Harmony's world. I'm going to say that. It just says he symbolically said, I'm a gangster. You try to stop me, and I'm still standing, basically. Which is, I'm sure that's what Trump is. It's been really what he's been saying all along.
That's how police feel. That's how every police in the
I totally agree with. I think that's what the force has to be, and I mean their leader is just reinforcing it. And then Notorious 20 is back with and be destructive. Most of them are just following along. They don't really care. Was that how your ancestors protest? That's what they said. Is that how you ancestors protest? No, I don't think so. That's called looting, which is stealing.
And Notorious Trina says, do they march to stop black on black crime, violence? Hell no. But when a white man or a man of authority kills one of our kind, it's a big uproar. I ain't buying it. Well, I mean, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. You can stand by and have the opinions that you want. But when you whoop your own child because your child is disrespectful or does something at your home, do you feel the same as you do if your child comes home from school and say that the teacher beat his ass? Are you going to feel the same? Or are you going to go to that school and cause an uproar because that teacher touched your child and had no business putting his fucking hands on your child? The black people, we have that same kind of crazy notion when it comes to we don't have a value on our life. We've been torn apart by horses. We've been cut open and the babies used for alligator bait. Our penises cut off and put in our mouths. Our legs cut off, burned on top of fires. We've been barbecued. There's been so much injected into our DNA that causes fear for us, that we've devalued our own life based on the way we've seen ourselves treated by this lowlander. We've allowed this low, basic, blue-eyed devil to treat us so low until we believe we're low, so we don't value each other's life. But when you see somebody uproaring, that means we recognize and value life. So that's a good thing. So you don't have to, you can stand by with an attitude that you're not buying it because black kills black. We come from the worst type of teaching on the planet. And until we can get past that, things ain't gonna change.
Okay, well, not switching gears because this is interesting for me. I might be saying it wrong, but I think it's Official Kashmir Majesty 215. It says, I hate when they say I'm not supporting Black Lives Matter until they support the LGBT.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, I mean, is there? And it's a good question because now, with all the different causes, right? And see, with all of the different causes, do you think that one is not being represented because they are still dying the same way? Come on, I mean.
If a black man, how do we know George Floyd wasn't gay?
Well, because he has beautiful children. My goodness.
So does Kate Jenner.
This is true, but I was trying to catch myself. But no, we don't know that. We don't know
Okay,
that.
then.
But
Okay,
should
then. So
it
the
make a
LGBT.
difference? But should it make a difference?
No, it shouldn't. And that's why I think when you got different communities coming up saying this and they not supporting this, all that's bullshit, because it doesn't matter if you're gay, this or that. They kill because they love to kill. If you happen to be white and gay, then lucky you. But if you're a black man and you gay, it ain't gonna matter. It's not gonna matter if you catch a cop on a bad day, if he's lusting for blood that day, your gay black ass is gonna be dead just like anybody else, because that's what they do. They're a hit squad. They're nothing but thugs and badges. And I'm posting as much as I can. Every time I catch one of them slipping, I got a white boy, he throwing up the white power sign in his gear. He cocky as hell. You know what I'm saying? They thugs, man. We so used to being called thugs that we believe that we're thugs. We forgot who originated the thug. We forgot who started the thug, where the thug originated from. We forgot. And now we take it upon ourselves. We don't value ourselves because we've been devalued so long. That's why black people kill black people. We know the cops ain't gonna come. You might not get caught. There's just no value. There's no economic value. There's no energetic value. There's no life value. There's no love value. Black people are in a state of lack of energetic high. We're in a low, and that's why we do what we do. We look at each other and we hate each other the same way that the white man hates us. The white man was so cunning that he bred with us so that we couldn't hate him and couldn't love ourselves. This is the kind of witchcraft that we're up against.
No, I totally understand that.
He's in our DNA. He's in our DNA. We're going to make sure.
I want to make sure I get to Kyo. I'm going to say KYOKO 516 asked me, do I support Trump? No, I do not. I disagree. I've been disagreeing before he was president. So I didn't even watch The Apprentice.
Yeah, so, I've never been a fan of him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And I'm not, listen, those that are supporters, you wouldn't be on my page if you was, but oh, they call me Willie Lynch. Well, you know, and I totally agree. Listen, Stephen, I don't, Simone, hi, baby. She said sexuality has nothing to do with it. I understand. Death is death. You know, death, the way you die, death is the ultimate end. So it doesn't really matter. You know, the suffering, it doesn't matter. The suffering is all going to be the same the way that they're doing it. You know, you're not dying by natural causes when you're going out this way. And we've been watching it.
They're giving us our whole trial on the sidewalk, Michel'le. They're being the judge, jury, the trial, the execution is happening on the sidewalk. Eric Gardner got choked out over a fucking cigarette. That little white devil jumped on his back and killed him over a cigarette.
Right. Have you ever, Notorious 21, I know, have you ever stayed in the Trump Hotel?
No.
No, me neither. You know, I've never stayed in
the Trump Hotel. And who cares if we have? I mean, I've had #1 records. I've traveled around the world. I've stayed in all kind of hotels.
We probably stayed in racist hotels and we just don't. We don't know. Over the years, we probably stayed in many racist hotels. We didn't know who owned them.
We're wearing clothes. We're wearing clothes by designers who didn't design.
We have no idea. Yes.
Yeah. So
we had this conversation about Procter and Gamble almost 30 years ago. Remember?
Yeah, we're trapped. We're trapped in that. We're in a world where everything around us is made and created from someone else. Yeah, we're not creating our own shoes. We're not creating our clothes, and we're not creating those things for ourselves. So there's any sort of thing that you could buy or collect that's by somebody who don't like black people or who racist. That's just the way that it is. But you know, the black dollar spins, so that's why it's continued to be sold to us. But black people got to wake up. If you don't want liquor stores on your corners, we got to change that. The liquor store can't exist on the corner. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
For some reason, nobody's been able to have a successful liquor store in this neighborhood. For some reason, something happens.
So do you think they're going to do that with dispensaries?
Nah, it's too much money. Black people love weed too much, and the government is taxing it now, so weed is going to be okay. I'm thinking about the things that are damaging us, you know. us accepting things and accepting people in our environment that don't deserve to be there. You know, just because they're there, we go and patronize their store. It's almost like, I don't know if we're lazy and we just like the convenience, but black people got to get past convenience. We got to get to the point to where we'll sacrifice and make sure that we travel a little further to the black bank.
Oh, and that's amazing.
It should be a line. It should be a line around the corner at a black bank.
Well,
but you know, the impossible people will come in and investigate and say that they're extorting and tear the whole black bank system down.
And then it's around.
Oh, we're dealing with impossible people. Unless we go back and take up Ghana's offer to give us land because they sold our ancestors into slavery, we're going to be in trouble. If black people were smart, we'd gather our shit up and go get all that land over there in Ghana and start our own labels, our own companies, and be over there with our own people, where our color is dominant, where we're holding our chests out and our head up. Even though we're going to have to deal with Africans over there that's mad at us because we got the Moses mentality. We grew up with the Egyptians or whatever. We still would be better off than to be over here trying to use the bathroom and eat at the same restaurants with people who believe there's something other than human.
Right.
You'll let a dog lick you in the mouth, but you want me to use the bathroom across the street. These are the kind of people that we're dealing with.
Well, no, I'm totally agree. I'm not changing the subject, but Notorious Trina 20, she said that I'm assuming this is supposed to say Suge Knight. It says Knight was no different from Trump, no shade, but I'm just saying, we never said he wasn't.
Listen, nobody protecting nobody.
We never said he wasn't, so, you know, no shade.
This ain't a Suge, it's not a Suge conversation.
Listen.
This is black people being executed on TV like it's Saudi Arabia question. That's what we're dealing with.
Listen.
Suge Knight don't have shit to do with
it. He has nothing to do with this power. Nothing.
Yeah.
This is a different power.
Man, we need more of them. We need some Suges on the street. Shit. I hate black on black crime too, man. I hate it with a passion, man. I hate that our cities can have some of the highest murder rates, and then when somebody kill us, ain't no murder. It's like the craziest shit on the planet. It's like, I'm telling you, when they put God in the image of themselves, girl, it messed us up, because I really believe that deep down, whether we want to admit it or not, we believe that white people are in the image of God. And how can we not? And all we've ever seen is his image as the Heavenly Father and Jesus. That is psychologically conditioning that has happened to us. We're conditioned. We don't mess with white people because we have the fear of God in them, in us. And I just believe that. I believe it. I believe it, man. I believe it. We'll sit up and explain. A white person will stop you and say, "Hey, do you belong here?" We'll stand there and explain. If a white person asks me something, I'm gonna be so gone on where I'm headed. He's not even gonna be able to get my energy, because I don't have that authoritative respect for him like that. You know what I mean? I just don't look at them like that. I've accepted who they are. I've studied them like they study other people. I've studied them, and I love them for being God's creation, but I know who they are. I do not worship them. I do not think they're better than black people. I do not think they're better than anybody at all. I think they're another race of human beings that were cunning enough and smart enough to do what they had to do to survive, being that they were what is it called? The recessive gene of the species. You know, when the sun is against you and the elements are against you, you got to do what you got to do to survive. So I got to give them kudos and respect on that. They went around the world and killed up and did everything that they do so that they could rule while they were here. And I don't blame them for doing it. I think that the people of this earth, black people, we need to do the same. We need to be prepared to do just as much killing, just as much everything to rule and dominate the same way they do if we want to dominate. There's no way that you can ask your enemy for heaven. There's no way your enemy is going to give you heaven. There's no way a white person is going to hate you in the physical and care about your spirit going to heaven. There's just no way that he's going to hate to look at you when you walk in the elevator. He turns flush red because he's fearful of everything that his ancestors has ever done to you. There's no way he's going to give you a key to heaven. Ain't no way. If they kill you over a cigarette, they're not worrying about you going to God. Trust me. If they kill you over a $20 bill, that was a real $20 bill. George Floyd got killed for absolutely nothing. And the little ugly ass Indian dude that called the police on him, they need to shut that store down too, because if you didn't know the $20 bill was fake, you shouldn't have called the police, you fucker.
What's sad was he said he didn't even know if George knew if it was fake or not. So why would you call the police?
Why would you call the police?
Why
not hit George and say, hey man, this bill ain't real, bro? But because they're prejudiced too. Those fuckers are prejudiced too.
And that's sad. That's really sad.
Yeah, it's sad, because we don't have a chance dealing with these fuckers here. We don't have a chance. We got to do so many different things to try to exist. You create Panther parties and all of these kind of things just to protect your own. And here they come again. Here they done created a whole section of investigators, COINTELPRO, to come and spy and plant this and send letters, send this gangbanger, steal the gangbanger's car and go drive and do a drive-by in this gang's car so that they notice the car. He's the instigator of death. He's the inciter of the ultimate riot. And it's time for us to face it and quit looking for a decent white person to claim and look at the enemy that our people are up against. And I'd rather love myself than to love my enemy any day. I'd rather love my own kind and see us growing than to love any enemy that hates the skin that I'm in, knowing that I can't help the fucking skin that I was born in. You understand? It's an impossible ass person that hates you because of some skin you were born in when they was born in some fucking skin too. You understand?
I do. So should we be doing what Queen is quite amazing? Queen is quite amazing said is us for us, period.
Period. Period.
So with this, moving forward, let's say after we figure out these convictions, then we should start a whole figuring out how to divide, which is what Trump has been working on, right?
I think we need to let these people do what they do, because once these guys are civilians now. Once they get into the prison system, the one thing I love about people in jail, they believe in instant karma. They believe in instant karma. So what's coming to these jerks is going to come to them either way. You get what I'm trying to say? That can't be our focus. Our focus needs to be, how are we going to get respect from this devil? How are we going to gain enough self for us to move and manipulate while we're in the confines of this devil and this devil's society, this devil's play that we happen to be a part of? How are we going to exist the best we can in this world, in this enemy's world, this big giant plantation? What are we going to do to get together as people to make moves to make it better for the next black person? That's what we're supposed to be doing. Looking out for our own, making sure our own is elevated, because remember, everything in this society is pegged against us. So with whatever power that we have, if we're a loan officer, we should be making sure that we're letting black people get land. You get what I'm saying?
Then we'd have to raise the red line rule, because I mean, come on, I mean, that goes back to changing the Constitution and changing the rules so that we can all start on an even platform. I mean, come on. I mean,
well, it's a tough call. We're gonna have to take our dollar back. We're gonna have to take the dollar. Black people, they make a lot of money, Michel'le.
I
mean, there's a lot of money go through our poor hands.
You can take it back. Oh, I went all the way back to when we had Black Wall Street. Okay.
No. I'm saying the money that's leaving our hands every 30 minutes, we need to make sure somehow that we start getting the mindset of dealing with businesses it starts small, but you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. We cannot say it's going to take too long, so we can't. Let me just keep shopping at such and such. We can't. We got to have some value to ourselves, like the Asians. I live in an Asian community. This is like little Asia over here. I don't know what part of Asia, but it's a part of it's little Asia. They have their own stores, their own dentists, their own everything. Right here in America, right here in East Pasadena.
So can I ask you a question then? Do you frequent all of the Asia businesses because you live in the area?
No. I buy my weed. I buy all my weed from a black dispensary.
So you go all to your black, everything you go to. Sorry, I'm just making you keep it real. So
No. There's not a black. There's not a community. You got to remember, we're not in a certain part of the South where there's black businesses everywhere. There's not a bunch of there's not a black cleaners that I can go to that I even know of around, it doesn't exist. We don't have a black community. This is what I'm saying. We need a black community. Get my lighter from outside. We need a black community. We need to figure out what community is, and all of the people that are black business owners, we need to look at them a little different. Instead of saying, well, black are always doing this, they always want to hook up, which is true. We got to deal with each other for the change. We give the white man passes over and over again. We just saw a white man choke. We just saw a white man choke a black man to death, and all we can say is all white people ain't bad. That's the first thing come to our mind. Well, all white people ain't like that. Who gives a shit? Who said all white people were bad? Who's even talking about all white people? We're talking about those devils who do the devilish things. So black people we got a lot of division between us. Religion. We got a lot of things separating us. We believe different. If you're Seventh-day Adventist, you're not going to believe Jehovah's Witness. If you're Jehovah's Witness, you're not messing with Church of God in Christ. If you're Church of God in Christ, you might not be messing with this over here, and there's so many different teachers teaching about God from different perceptions of what God is by the way it's been taught, until we all have a different view of God. I've talked to people who've told me that Adam morphed around the garden because it was too big for him to make it around. He had to morph. I've had people tell me that God is a spirit. And in Genesis chapter 3, it clearly says that God is walking through the garden in the cool of the day, looking for Adam and Eve, trying to find out where they are. He don't even know where they are. You hear what I'm saying? He's looking. He's walking through the garden in the cool of the day. But if you ask somebody if God's a spirit, they're going to say, yes, he's a spirit. Well, then who the hell is walking through the garden? So it's a difficult thing that black people got to deal with, because we're confused as hell. We're spellbind, twisted upside down, inside out, and backwards. And black people got a long way to go before we make the change that we need. We got so many different flips. You got to take your drawers off, turn them back outside right. You got to take your undershirt off, turn that outside right. We got to get off of our head and get on our feet. You get what I'm saying? Black people are spellbind. And if you ever we read the Willie Lynch letter on the show. You remember all of that?
Yeah, we did.
In that Willie Lynch letter? You remember how much Bible was in that Willie Lynch letter? You remember how sure he was about what he said to do to good niggas?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And what was sad about it was still very active to that day that we read it.
We got to call it out stuff that was still working.
We couldn't believe how prevalent it still was. We were like, whoa. Yeah.
Whoa.
It was mind-blowing.
So until black people are ready, and I thank God for George Floyd. I hate that his demise had to be that way for his family, but I think that he was one of the straws that's breaking the camel's back. You're not going to get the elite to care about anything. You're not going to get these people to care or have empathy in any way. And you got robot Manchurian type military men. You got psychologically spellbound people as officers. So as long as we're living in this robotic, chaotic matrix with these impossible people, we're gonna have trying times. You know, there's not a clear light at the end of the tunnel for Black people except for loving themselves. Because once Black people love themselves, they're not gonna stand for what they stand for. They're not gonna have an excuse of why there's not heads for a head. See, once I love myself, you can't talk to me like that. Who are you talking to?
Right.
Once I love myself and look at myself as God Almighty within me, dwelling within me, I'm going to question you. Why don't you see it? You see how they question us? What are you doing in this neighborhood? You don't belong in this neighborhood. This is my neighborhood. That's how they talk. They own one. They own one piece of dirt, and this is their neighborhood. So we got to get that same godly aspect for ourselves. I'm not hating on no other race. I love the fact that Hispanics love each other. I love the fact that white people love each other and take their murderers to McDonald's and shit. That's beautiful. I think Black people need to be the same way. We need to cut out Black on Black crime, period. We need to stop killing our own people. That's going to be one of the main statements that devil needs to see. Even though the devil will go into neighborhoods killing Black people, saying that is Blacks killing Blacks. Because remember, they own the news stations and they're going to report what they want to report. Black people need to step away from killing and dealing with Black people the way that we do. We need to change our mindset from the enemy's mindset about ourselves to loving and looking at ourselves different. We have to. We got to look at George Floyd's face in everybody. We got to look at the people, Trayvon Martin, and we got to start seeing that face in our people. You could be the next one. What's up, bruh? It's tough out here for us, man. Let's get together. What kind of work you do? Oh, okay, I'll do this. Okay, I'll keep your number, man. If I ever need this, some floors done or this, you know, we got to fuck with each other. We got to change the narrative on the way that we look and deal with each other, period. That's the only way it's going to change. Nobody's going to respect Black people because we try to look like other people. We spend our money with everybody else. We kill each other at a high rate. So no other race is looking at us and thinking that there's anything great about Black people except for the God that they are that they don't know. Other people see the God in.
Well, what do we say to people like the Trina 20 who says the notorious Trina who says that they love white people? What do we like?
I mean, I love everybody. I love white people. I got white friends. One of my golf coaches white. He's my homeboy. My administrator to my publishing, Donna Zeman, she's one of my best friends. She's white. Yeah, it's not that. It has nothing to do with all. I'm not talking. Remember, Black people are not the inhumane people. Why do we have to explain who we love? Why do the people who kisses everybody's ass and turn the other cheek, why do we always have to explain how much love we got for other motherfuckers? Why? Why do I have to sit here and explain that it's not about all white people? Who gives a shit? White people got it good. They don't need my help. They don't need your help. They're going to be white and do good regardless to whether they are friends or not. What are we going to do? And you got this girl on here saying George Floyd didn't do nothing for her. Some people are just ignorant as fuck. You know what I mean? It's some people so fucking ignorant.
But this is what you have to do, though, Steve. You have to allow people to have their own.
I like it, but it's totally ignorant.
But you have to allow people to have their own feelings and opinions.
I like it.
Because if that's what makes the world go round.
I like it. I'm not saying that George...
What this is not going to do for everybody like everybody thinks it's going to do. This is not going to collectively make everybody think the same way.
Right.
You know,
you're right. And I respect that. I respect it. But I just feel like the hatred for ourselves, like this person that's on here talking, she's talking like she's mad at George. You get what I'm saying? She's mad at this guy for getting his neck squeezed. So those kind of people are helpless. You got to let them stay in their cave and do what they're going to do. But me, I have a platform where I can educate and plant seeds in people and probably be the spark that lights the flame for the next movement or the next person to decide to do something great. So that's why I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's why this is important. Uh, uh, Anybody can just stand back and say, well, it's not on my porch, so it ain't no big deal. It ain't on my porch. You get what I'm saying? But if something happened in your family, you the first one screaming, oh, baby, oh, baby, oh. You get what I'm trying to say? We come from heartless teachers, so I can't blame any black person that's heartless. My only thing is, why are you heartless against your own? And that's it. Why are you more heartless against your own when other races are not heartless against their own? And I think that George Floyd, rest in peace, I think he's opening door for people of all colors to look at themselves. I think George Floyd is making everybody examine themselves. He's making everybody look at what they come from, their people that they come from, and assess if what I come from is beneficial for me at this time. Seeing that man get slaughtered like that on TV hurt a lot of people. It hurt a lot of people of all colors. I'm not going to sit up here and say that there wasn't people hurt over watching what we saw. It has to bring upon a change. Look at all the people marching all over the world, man. There's more people in Paris on the streets than there are anywhere in the United States. So if you think that George Floyd's death didn't do anything for this planet, fuck you individually. He done something greater than you. He moved something bigger than you. How about that? You know what I mean? You're not the point. Shit. The point is the world. The world needs a wake-up call, and that's what this is about, man. That's what it's about. And it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to stop trying to make the enemy comfortable. It's time for us to figure out how to be comfortable our damn selves. It's time for us to stop looking at how we're going to work good for the man and figure out how we're going to work smart for ourselves. It's time for all of these talented black people who give out all of their talent to everybody else and make everybody send everybody else's people to college. It's time for us to get together and work with each other. It's time for the songwriters and producers. Now we need to be making boys clubs now. You know, now this is Producers Inc. 30 producers. Here's Black Music Salute. 50 writers over here. See, that's how you dominate. Because they need ideas. Trust me. Rock and roll came from the ghettos of the South. So trust me. Wherever we go, our talent follows. I'll put it that way.
That's true.
We are powerful people, and I'm glad that we had this tonight. I'm glad that you guys tuned in.
Yeah.
And we need to have more of it. I mean, maybe we need to do it one day this weekend or next week. You let me know, and we should do it again because.
Listen, because they're still going to be in the streets. It's not over. It's not over. This is just time. This is just the beginning. We got a long way to go. This trial could go for months.
Yes, it's gonna go on. It's gonna go on for a long time.
Yeah.
You know,
So.
And to all the people who support the show, the haters and the lovers alike, I appreciate it all.
I love them all.
Yes. I appreciate it all because even you can learn something that you don't need. Your subconscious can gain something that you don't even know you gained. And Michel'le, you know I love you to death.
Love you, Stephen. Thank you so much for all the, you know when I get wisdom for you, you know I